Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's world, we have so much choice when it comes to the skincare brands we can choose from. I know that this can seem a little bit overwhelming, so many different brands and different products. However, the reverse side of that is the more choice we have, the more discerning we can be as customers to really target our hard-earned coin on the brands which really deserve our loyalty. Gone are the days where we felt we had to shop with the shady, disrespectful, or in some cases dishonest skincare brands of the past. There are 5 skincare brands that honestly I would never give a penny of my hard-earned coin to, and there's a couple of reasons why, and I want to pick it apart in today's video. I think the more informed we are as consumers, the better decisions we can make for our own skincare routine, which is really the purpose of today's content. So sit back, relax, and let's talk the 5 skincare brands I'd never buy. Now, before we get into this, you guys might totally disagree with what I have to say in today's video, and that's absolutely fine. Whether you agree or disagree, just sound off in the comments section below and let me know your thoughts and opinions on anything mentioned today. Also, are there any other brands that you'd like to add to this list? Let me know and make sure you include the reasons why. Hopefully, while you're down there, you'll also want to give this video a big thumbs up and a like. It supports me in the channel so much, and honestly, I would love you forever. Now, without further ado, shall we cut the waffle and delve straight on in? And the first shady brand that honestly I'll never be purchasing a product from is this one, Mario Badescu. Now, before you all read me to filth and say, Rob, in a video titled Brands I'll Never Spend Money On, why are you branching one of their products? Well, I actually got sent this as part of like a beauty package from another brand, otherwise I would never actually own one of their products. So Mario Badescu is kind of the reason for this video today. Recently I filmed like an evolution history of the brand, which I'll leave a link to up there, and in that I talked about the steroid scandal that this brand had been engulfed in. That shocked a lot of people. You know, a lot of people said, oh gosh, I had no idea. Are there any other shady skincare brands we should be aware of? Instead of like doing separate videos, I thought I'd put it all together in one, which is the purpose of today's content. Now, Mario Badescu, like I said, had their steroid scandal, which is when a couple of years ago a class action lawsuit was brought together by a number of people who had been adversely affected by the steroids which Mario Badescu included in their products without letting anybody know. These were prescription strength steroids. Actually, if used incorrectly, can have quite a few adverse side effects, but Mario Badescu didn't care. No. They included them without disclosing them on their ingredients list, without letting anybody know. They owned up to the fact that they were doing this, but their apology seemed very lackluster. It was more like, we're sorry we were caught out, rather than being sorry for the trauma that they caused literally swathes of people. They settled with the people that were involved in the lawsuit itself, but for anyone else that wanted to complain, they could get their hands on a $45 Mario Badescu gift voucher. If you were serious about actually compensating consumers and putting it right, you'd be offering more than a $45 gift voucher to a brand where, let's be honest, who actually wants to shop from anyway? I think, like I say, they were only really sorry that they got caught out and nothing has changed. The same guy still owns the brand. It's the same people in key posts. They're just carrying on like nothing has happened. They've removed the banned steroids from their products, but this really got me thinking, if they could do that once and with the same people in charge, what's stopping them doing it again? How do we actually know that the ingredients list on this product, say, which is their lavender facial spritz, is really what's in the product? You know, there's an awful lot of trust that has to go between brands and us, the consumer, and once that's broken, I think it's really hard to win back. With so much choice, why would anyone want to spend their hard-earned coin on Mario Badescu? No second chances here, and definitely a brand I won't be supporting. Now, the second brand is this one, Purito. Now, where I think Mario Badescu is a little bit cut and dry, you know, I think I would struggle to see anybody wanting to support that brand after what they did to us, the consumer. When it comes to Purito, I think he's going to be a little bit nuanced, and a lot of people might disagree with me, in which case, definitely sound off in the comment section below. The reason why I won't be supporting Purito, despite the fact I like a lot of their products, is the way that they dealt with the Korean sunscreen scandal. So Purito and their now discredited sunscreen, this isn't it by the way, this is like the newer version of it, was what kick-started the Korean sunscreen scandal, where independent testing showed that the Purito sunscreen was actually offering a lot lower protection than what the brand claimed. As a result of that, Purito withdrew the product from market, apologised to the consumers, offered refunds and said that they'd look into how this happened. I was absolutely willing to give Purito a second chance because I thought they kind of did everything right. You know, they owned up to something, they compensated the consumer, and they were working out what went wrong to prevent it happening again. It's kind of like a tick box box exercise in how to go about a scandal. However, since then, a few other things have come to light. They said that the issue was related to the lab that they were working with, that they were honestly as deceived as we were, the consumer, when it comes to the protection level of their original sunscreen. Except that wasn't technically true. What they were doing is they were telling the Korean regulators one thing and then telling the consumer in the West something totally different. And this, I think, is the reason why I just don't have any trust in the brand going forward. If you're going to own up to something, you just need to put it all out on the table. This is what happened, this is what we did, and this is what we're going to do going forward. Instead, to blame the lab when you're talking to some people, to then say to the Korean authorities, actually, we did know a lot more than we let on. Again, how can we trust a brand that's going to go about things like that? You guys might totally disagree, and I went into this in more detail in a recent video, which I'm going to leave a link to up there. Definitely check that one out, and then let me know what your thoughts, feelings, and opinions are. Whereas with Mario Badescu, I don't think any of their products actually deliver anything for your skincare routine. They're pretty mediocre formulations. Purito products are actually really, really good. It's the brand itself and the fact that I was willing to give them a second chance, but they blown that, and I just don't think third chances are really a thing in life. So I won't be personally purchasing for Purito going forward, but this is one I'd really love to know your thoughts and opinions on. Now third, let's come on to Avon. I don't think there's anyone out there that doesn't know an Avon rep. They've been around for decades. I think my mum was like an Avon lady back in the 90s. There's a couple of reasons why Avon aren't a brand I'll purchase skincare from. First and foremost, they're an MLM, a multi-level marketing company. Now this is actually quite confusing. I like to think of it as like a pyramid scheme where, you know, one person invests in the company, buys their products, and they then recruit other people to sell products on part of them, who then recruit other people, and it all turns into a little bit of a pyramid. There are other content creators out there that could talk about MLMs, what they are, and the problematic nature of them in better detail than I can, and I've linked some of them in the description box below. Definitely worth checking out because I don't think I could do it justice in this video. There's a whole lot of issues with multi-level marketing corporations. The fact that they tend to prey on women and some other minorities alongside that. The fact that it's a way of like recruiting people with really unrealistic expectations and leave a lot of quite vulnerable people out of pocket as a result. It's just not a great business strategy and something which I hope will disappear in the coming years. Beyond just being an MLM, the main reason I won't shop with Avon is because they claimed previously to be an entirely cruelty-free brand. I totally bought into that and I'm all about the cruelty-free skincare. It then turned out that actually they weren't telling the truth, and this was exposed in a recent lawsuit. So people clubbed together, similar with the Mario Badescu one, to sue Avon for saying actually they were misled. Avon said that none of their products went through animal testing. They were 100% certified as cruelty-free. This wasn't the case. They sold into mainland China and subjected a whole suite of their products to animal testing in order to access that market. China is the one country nationally that actually mandates animal testing on skincare, but brands have a choice. They don't need to sell into China. They can forego that profit to keep up with their morals. Avon didn't care about that. They said, no, we'll still make the profit from China, but we'll just tell everyone that we're against animal testing, hope that nobody notices. They settled that lawsuit, and now they actually have changed tact a little bit to say, we personally don't agree with animal testing, but we will tolerate it where it's required and where we have to do it because of the Chinese government. No. It's not okay to blame the Chinese government for this. You make a choice. A lot of brands that don't sell into China, so they can be truly cruelty-free. Avon could do this, but they decided profits come before everything else, and so they continued to do this and just kind of moderated their stance on their website. This, not good. I think, whether a brand chooses to be cruelty-free or not is entirely up to them. The main thing is that they're open and honest with us, the consumer, so that we can make a decision on whether we want to buy from them or not. Avon clearly know that cruelty-free is the way forward, and that's what people are demanding. Otherwise, they wouldn't have lied about it. But instead of doing the right thing, they said, no, let's just deceive the consumer, and that's just honestly not okay. Like I said, coupled with being an MLM as well, means that Avon, in its current state, is not a brand that I will ever be supporting. Now should we come on to Keep Cool and Soothe. Honestly, this was one of the hottest skincare brands around 2 years ago. It was on the lips of just about every influencer here on YouTube. They were a super popular Korean skincare brand that again got involved with the Korean sunscreen scandal, very similar to Purito. The way they initially went about it, though, in terms of the response to that, was totally different to Purito. So they had a bamboo-based sunscreen, which again was formulated in the same lab as a lot of other Korean sunscreens that were failing their independent testing. This led a lot of people to say, hang about, if these labs are producing a lot of defective sunscreens, then really, how can we trust the Keep Cool and Soothe brand that's formulated in the same way? I think this was a perfectly legitimate comparison to make, but not in the eyes of Keep Cool and Soothe. Anybody that mentioned the brand brand in even a vaguely negative way, got a cease and desist email from their marketing department, threatening legal action to be taken if they didn't issue a full apology and withdraw any video that contained that content. Now, I actually received one of these emails myself and I laughed it off. It came from the marketing department. I mean, if you're going to send a cease and desist, like legal email, send it from your legal department, not from your marketing team. I mean, the whole thing was just laughable. And honestly, I just deleted it and moved on. This left a lot of particularly smaller content creators feeling really worried. A lot of people issued apologies. People even deleted their channels and Instagram accounts on the back of this because they were worried about the legal repercussions on themselves and their family. This was totally shady because the whole time this was going on, Keep Cool and Soothe knew that their sunscreen wasn't delivering the SPF of 50+ that they claimed. Of course, independent testing came out like 2 or 3 weeks later that showed it was actually delivering between an SPF of 9 and 18. I mean, like woefully below. And the brand really didn't do anything. They just said, yeah, okay, we'll remove that from sale, and that's the end of it. No apologies were issued. The consumer found it really difficult to get a refund, and they never actually said sorry. The whole thing was just shady and wrong. What's really funny about this is the same marketing company that were threatening people around 6 months after this had gone on sent me an email saying, we love your content, we'd love to send you a suite of our products to try and review. I'm like, seriously, do you not check this back against previous emails that you've sent and know that there's people that you were threatening like 6 months ago probably aren't going to want to receive your PR package and sing the praises of your brand? I think a lot of people felt really put out by this, and rightly so. This was just the wrong way to respond to people's genuine and legitimate concerns about the SPF that they were using. And now you hardly see anyone mention the brand. I don't think I've seen a video or a content creator reference them for the past like 2 years. And it's all because of their own actions. There's definitely zero remorse on the part of Keep Cool and Soothe. This isn't a brand that I think ever deserve our hard-earned coin. Finally, I want to talk about Roden and Fields. Now, this isn't a brand that a lot of you might have heard about. That's because they're super bougie, luxury, and predominantly out of the US market. So again, they're a multi-level marketing company like Avon, which is the first issue. But actually, beyond just that, they also have this product called Lash Boost. It's designed to give you like lashes for days and really boost the hair production, particularly around the eye area. A lot of people bought this, even though it was really expensive. I think it retails like $160. But this actually contains a lot of ingredients which are potentially problematic and super high strength. One of them is actually used to treat glaucoma in a medical setting, and they thought, yeah, let's include this in our lash serum. On the back of this, there's actually a lawsuit ongoing at the moment where lots of people are clubbed together to say that this Lash Boost serum actually caused severe inflammation in the eye area, actually a loss of eyelashes and some alopecia in the area. People also said that it had caused their irises to change colour, which honestly, if that isn't like a warning sign, I don't know what is. And people have got some really adverse side effects to this. The company responded by saying, we have no issues with our product. You know, if it causes irritation, just stop using it. This is the same for all skincare. And whilst I do agree, you know what, we can all be allergic to any ingredient in our skincare routine, which is why patch testing is so important. The fact that this brand knows that they're using really high potency ingredients that, again, have a history of being irritating, and yet just put the onus on the consumer to say, if you're irritating, your skin's the problem, just stop using it, it's fine. This is a $160 preparation, and they just seem to think, nah, it's not a problem. The lawsuit's ongoing, and we'll see what comes on the back of it. But the only thing that they've done in response so far is to put a little disclaimer on their website saying, if irritation occurs, seek medical advice. Just not good enough, and I think as a brand they kind of should do better, particularly when you consider the price point. Definitely not a brand that I'll be shopping with in the future. So there you have it, guys. A rundown of the 5 skincare brands I'll never invest a cent or a penny of my hard-earned coin in. Hopefully you can see that there are nuances to this. I don't expect you guys to agree with me entirely. You might have totally different opinions, and again, just to reiterate, that's absolutely fine. When it comes to skincare, it's all subjective, and it's about doing what works for you in terms of your skin type, your budget, and of course your ethical considerations. There are lots of other brands I probably missed off this list, and you know, if I gave even more thought, I could probably do 3 or 4 of these style of videos to cover all of them, which is why I'd love it if you sound off in the comment section below with any that you personally like added. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.